Well, the very first thing I want to do as president is to recognize Gregory Gifford and commend him for a job well done as president of this association. Greg, you did a simply tremendous job this year. The benchmark conference at Hotel Hershey was out of this world. The membership dinner was CTO Midtown Express, or some may say the Honorable Virgil B. Walker and Friends Band, had everyone dancing the night away. The stock market was up, not that you did that personally, but the investments of the MBA did well, and you also came in under budget for the year, somehow all while pulling off some of the most memorable events this bar association has seen in years. Despite a couple of challenges along the way, you never lost your calm, cool, and kind demeanor, nor that smile on your face. You did a fantastic job with everything. May I ask that we give one last ovation for the tremendous job that Greg did. So in my career as a lawyer, I've been asked a number of questions numerous times. You've probably heard some of them yourself. Have you handled a case like this before? So how much is this going to cost? Is that even legal? And of course, the judge said bail is how much? But the one question that always kind of catches me off guard and strikes me as interesting and usually just comes out of nowhere is, was your father a lawyer? Well, putting aside the assumptions that one must have to pose that question, let me cut to the chase and tell you my dad was not a lawyer. My father was the youngest of 15 children, born to first-generation immigrants of this country who became farmers in Chester County. His family barely had enough to get by, and certainly nothing to spare. By the time they got to my dad, they had even less than that. That upbringing, of course, had a lasting and resounding effect on his life, and it was clear that he carried his hardships that he endured with him wherever he went. My older brother, Peter, an accomplished machinist, and my older sister, Allison, a top-notch accountant, are here with me today. Thanks, guys. You get the three of us around the table, man, we could tell you some stories about my dad, like periodically having to endure taking cold showers because hot water costs money, and having to bring home your brown paper lunch bag each day because there's no sense throwing out a perfectly good bag. He was a strict and hard individual, but a good man. He worked hard, and he always showed respect and took care of the elderly. Unfortunately, my father passed away just this past September after suffering from the effects of Alzheimer's for several years. I had no doubt that he would have been incredibly proud to see a lowly Kurtas, subject to ridicule by his peers in his day, rise to the level of honor and respect in 2020. So despite the fact that I had no fatherly lawyerly advice to help me on my way as a youngster, I did manage to luck out, get a couple of gentlemen to help guide my way. The first was John Fraser Hunt, who I'm so pleased to be here today along with his beautiful wife, Penny. I worked for John on his farm from age 14 through 18 and learned quite a bit about so many things during those formative years, such as when weed whacking, getting the weeds matters, but you must also be sure to avoid cutting Penny's flowers, because that translates into a miserable day and perhaps no lunch for either of us. And of course, left-handed and right-handed pitchforks both work equally well when emptying the manure out of the horse stalls or a broken manure splatter. Fortunately, my mind was challenged as well, shall we say, by a bit more intellectual ways, and I credit John with planting the seed that grew into my career as an attorney. I'm pleased to say I now get to work with John on special matters when I periodically serve as of counsel to his law firm, Hunt & Ayers in Philadelphia. I shall use a term of endearment from our days on the farm and say, John, you old bean, thank you for everything you've done for me, and thank you for being here today. For those who don't know, when I became an attorney, I stubbornly wanted to do things my own way, and I insisted on going out on my own and starting my own firm. After several years of relative success, along came my present law partner, Paul Prince, who successfully convinced me that there was great benefit in working with someone who has your back and looks out for you. Paul and I have forged ahead and continue to proudly carry on the work of the longest continuously existing firm in Pottstown, and he has provided great guidance to me over our time together. Unfortunately, Paul had to attend to important matters involving his health today, but I'm so pleased that his wife, Patty, could be here in his place, and I know she will pass on words of thanks and well wishes to him when she sees him a bit later today. Thank you, Patty, for being here. Let me quick say something about Pottstown. I'm told I'm the first president to come out of Pottstown in this association's 135-year history. That's a bit baffling to me because I know very well from experience and observation that the Pottstown Bar boasts some of the very finest attorneys in this county and the Commonwealth, and quite a number of which I see here today. To them I say thank you for being here. Your presence and support means so very much to me. Thank you. Okay, so enough of the prelude. Let's talk Montgomery Bar Association. First, let me just say there's so much I could say about the Bar Association right now, and even though I think I could do so efficiently, I realize that those before me who have talked on for too long become the talk of tales and snickering over tall drinks at various Bar Association events, and therefore I will not join their ranks. I'm going to briefly touch upon just three things: finances, programming, and purpose. With regard to finances, the state of the Bar Association is strong. We own our own building outright. If you only pay dues and you don't go to the Bar Association building, you're totally and completely missing out. The building is exemplary. The place hosts countless meetings, CLEs, events, an amazing restaurant, a world-class staff able to assist you in whatever way you desire. If you're in Norristown, please stop in and say hi or grab a coffee or a bite to eat at our restaurant, The Burley Dove. If you don't have reason to come to Norristown normally, then please accept my invitation to come and be my guest at an event this year. The Bar Association has investment assets which are managed by two local entities, Haverford Trust and Bryn Mawr Trust. Those assets under management performed incredibly well this year, and we believe we're well positioned to navigate whatever the market may bring in the years ahead. While our financial position is strong, we must always be prepared for a change in tides and be fiscally responsible by insisting on balanced budgets year after year. With regard to programming, we have so much going on in terms of programming that is difficult to manage and keep track of, and we certainly couldn't do it at all without our tremendous staff. First, we have expanded and improved upon our CLE offerings over this past year. We now have top-notch CLE offerings available 24/7 on demand on our website. We continue to recruit our best and brightest attorneys to put on not only relevant and timely continuing legal education, but unique offerings that you simply cannot get anywhere else. In the back of your program booklet, you will see a list of individuals who gave up their time and expertise to teach CLEs at the MBA this past year, and I want to thank each and every one of you for your commitment to the Bar Association. For several years, we have been putting an increased focus on developing leaders within our Bar Association ranks so that our future will be brighter. In fact, 2019 saw our 5th class of graduates from our Leadership Academy, bringing the number of MBA members who have completed the program to over 50. This program has led to some incredible endeavors, including our hiring of an Access to Justice coordinator, the development of our incredibly successful and now award-winning solo and small practice firm committee, a re-examination and improvement upon our diversity initiatives, and this past year a program geared to helping those grappling with issues relating to re-entry into society after a period of incarceration. This year we have retained Nancy Walsh a compassionate and inspirational leader herself, to engage 18 of our past graduates of our program in Leadership 2.0. And we are incredibly excited about this program and what the participants will accomplish not only this year, but in many years to come. I so very much look forward to seeing the 18 of you when this program kicks off next week. Our diversity efforts are growing, and we're really making some excellent strides in this area. We recently celebrated our 10th year of the 1L Summer Intern Program, where law firms in our county provide summer internship opportunities to students of diverse backgrounds that are between their first and second year of law school. We're poised to do even greater things this year, and certainly in years to come. But you know what? We need your help and involvement. I know I don't really need to say this, but I'm going to. Diversity is not about a collective of non-white and or LGBTQ individuals sitting in a room coming up with ways to assimilate within our association. It is about everyone from all backgrounds, cultures, and orientations coming together and finding ways to celebrate and embrace both our similarities and our differences. That means everyone has to be involved. The Diversity Committee will be kicking off an ambitious year with our first meeting this coming Tuesday at noon. Please, I ask of you, get involved. Please help us to set the bar high and to be a leader in this area that other organizations and even our communities can look to for guidance and inspiration. With regard to purpose, what is the purpose of the Bar Association? Well, we have a revamped mission statement promulgated and passed by the Board of Directors in 2019. The mission of the Bar is to promote professional excellence, facilitate access to justice, and protect the integrity of the legal system through service to our members and community. That mission statement should provide some guidance about what we are about, but let me get a little bit deeper. In my personal opinion, the components that mean more than anything are facilitating equal access to justice to all and protecting the integrity of our legal system. Who decides what justice is? Well, our judges do. Who decides who our judges are? The Montgomery County voters. And how do they decide? Well, from various sources of information, some better than others, but probably the most important of which is the recommendations of our Judiciary Committee. This year, I am tasking our Judiciary Committee and members of the Board of Directors to re-examine, solidify, and improve upon the process by which our Judiciary Committee properly vets candidates for judge in this county, such that the process is fair and just to everyone, regardless of political affiliation. I think that everyone should agree that continuing to get the most highly qualified judges in our county is a goal that we should all be 100% behind. There simply is no better system and no better body to evaluate and vet candidates for judge than the legal community itself. The role of the MBA's Judiciary Committee must be preserved in order for us to truly meet our mission of facilitating access to justice and protecting the integrity of the legal system. As I said in my incoming president's message in our award-winning Sidebar publication, which of course I know you all read cover to cover, the purpose or meaning of the Bar Association is what we decide. Leadership, diversity, collegiality, the Judiciary Committee, there's always a laudable goal to pursue. Our Board of Directors shapes those decisions, but our organization is ultimately governed by bylaws. After a multi-year review, the Bylaws Committee is prepared to recommend the implementation of a new set of bylaws. The new bylaws are slated to be released for comment in February of this year and will be considered for adoption in May of this year. By present bylaws, we need to have at least 75 members present to vote on the implementation of the new bylaws. But regardless, every member should be cognizant of this event. Therefore, take this as your notice. Please keep a lookout for that meeting and attend. So I feel that 2020 is going to be a tremendous year. And while I'm not going to go through everything that's going to be taking place, let me just briefly touch upon what's slated to happen in the near future. In January, we will be out in full support as our own Judge Austin is honored by the barristers of Philadelphia and being presented the Justice Juanita Kidd Stout Woman of Distinction Award on Martin Luther King Day, Jr. She will follow in the footsteps of Mary Lou Watson, who was honored with the same award by the barristers a couple years back, and who was our very first Horace A. Davenport Award recipient last year. Both are vital and valuable participants in our diversity committee, and your ability to interact with them and be guided by their leadership is yet another reason that you should get involved with our diversity efforts. That same day, again, Martin Luther King Day, Jr., the 20th is January, our Young Lawyers section will be engaging in a day of service at 2 separate locations in Ambler. My hope is to make it to both after attending the barristers event, and I really would love to see as many members there as possible. I'm told that we really need a couple more volunteers for the event that's taking place at the Interfaith Housing Alliance, and I encourage you to please attend. Mock trials will begin in January, and as always, we need our members to agree to serve as jurors for the numerous trials. I remember when I led the Young Lawyers back in 2010, how challenging it was to manage and oversee so many trials. And it became even more challenging when we had to scramble to ensure that we had enough jurors for each trial. While our Young Lawyers section is strong and vibrant, our membership as a whole needs to support this worthy cause. As mentioned previously, the Diversity Committee gets started next week, but also numerous committees in our sections will be holding their first meetings of the year this month. Please check the master calendar on the MBA website and get involved in the committees of greatest importance to you. On January 23rd, all of our directors and committee chairs will be meeting to begin to lay the groundwork for the year ahead. From here, we will solidify what is going to happen, but there's already several great things in the works for almost every month of the year. I've often heard members lament at the elimination of the annual clam bake. Therefore, this year I've decided to bring back a clam bake type event, which is presently slated to happen in the spring. This will be in lieu of our annual membership dinner, which, because of Greg's great job, I don't think we could possibly top that. And we'll provide an atmosphere for MBA members to bring their entire families to enjoy a day of fun and camaraderie. We will celebrate Law Day on May 1st, and this event will mark the 100th anniversary of the ratification of the 19th Amendment, which gave women the right to vote and a voice in our democracy. I'm so very pleased to report that Judge Gammon, who reached out to me this week and expressed her dismay that she couldn't be here, she said that she will be there on Law Day, and she will deliver the address to our attendees. The women in the Law Committee will also be intimately involved in that ceremony, and it's going to be a great day. So please come out on Law Day, May 1st. In June, we will look to celebrate 10 years of our Liberty and Law Civics Education Program and recognize those individuals who have engaged in this worthwhile endeavor. In September, we'll have our bench bar conference at Seaview, just outside Atlantic City. I can't give you all the secrets, but it's going to be one that you don't want to miss. In October, we're going to slightly tweak our membership dinner, and it will become an awards dinner with intermingling entertainment, where we will still recognize our 50-year members, but also bestow some prestigious awards such as the Margaret Richardson Award and the Trial Lawyer of the Year Award. In November, with any luck, we're hoping to have an MBA 2020 celebration at which we'll treat those who embrace the notion of MBA 2020 and got involved this year. Although not finalized yet, I'm working with staff to come up with a scoring system in which members will accumulate points for being involved with the MBA this year. Score enough points and you'll be part of the MBA 2020 Club and entitled to all the accolades and privileges, including being able to attend our end of the year celebration free of charge. As with all these things, keep an eye out on the weekly MBA newsletter and follow the MBA on our social media channels to stay up to date with everything that is happening. Before I close, I just want to briefly thank and acknowledge a couple of individuals and entities. First, the past presidents. The past presidents of this association have been a source of great support, guidance, and inspiration for me. Each and every one of them cares very deeply for this association, as evidenced by their continued involvement years after their tenure came to an end. Case in point, the Honorable Mason Avergan, who served as president of this association some 46 years ago in 1974, has agreed to lead the past President's Council, along with Bill Pugh Ford, president in 1995. This will surely be a great year with those two leading the charge. Second, I want to thank our distinguished bench that welcomed 3 new members just a week ago today. Your presence at our events and your willingness to share your time is so very special, and everyone knows that it's something that makes our Bar Association so unique. Third, I want to thank our affinity partners, and most specifically, USI Colburn and Stralo Court Reporting, who have been 2 of our longest supporting partners. Ray Kehoe is here from USI, and Karen Stralo-Metz is here from Stralo Court Reporting. I would ask that they stand and be acknowledged for the tremendous support they have provided to our Bar Association for many years. Karen had an emergency and had to leave, but we still thank her so very much for everything she's done. Finally, I want to thank our staff. And as I said in my incoming president's message, I was going to, throughout the year, pick particular individuals to say something about. And this particular occasion, I want to specifically recognize George Gartingas. George has become a great trusted friend of mine over my years of involvement in the Bar Association. He managed the MBA website as well as essentially all the inner workings of our information technology. He's an absolutely vital component in the production of the Law Reporter, our weekly publication, as well as the Sidebar. He assisted in the development of our software, which we call Maya, which manages all of our meetings, registrations, invoices, payments, etc. And the software was so good, we were able to sell it to other bar associations. He's an incredibly talented photographer, and if you're nice enough to him, he may even be willing to ensure that an unflattering photo of you never sees the light of day. Finally, when my hard drive on my personal home computer crashed this past October, and I lost a ton of data, including, in fact, a majority of the speech, George was able to swoop in and save the day for me. George, I thank you. The Montgomery Bar Association thanks you for your dedicated service and loyal efforts over the past 23 years. Thanks, George. So now in closing, I want to acknowledge and celebrate the one individual who has shaped my life more than anyone else, and that, of course, would be my mom, Alice Kurtas. Her mom and dad, my grandparents, were stationed at Pearl Harbor when it was bombed on December 7, 1941, and somehow survived. And she was born less than 1 year later with that same spirit of survival. An exceptional teacher, she was quick to identify that different individuals learn in vastly different ways. She taught reading to the most developmentally challenged individuals, and has truly changed lives for the better. Although she's been retired for a number of years now, people still to this day find their way to me and trust in me because of something meaningful that she has done in their lives, sometimes 30, even 40 years ago. She has persevered through illness, through hardship, and through never-ending challenges, and has done so with compassion, empathy, and kindness every step of the way. I already know that there are quite a number of people here in the audience that have expressed their hope that they will be able to see her today to thank her for the handwritten letter they received in response to the condolences they sent along on the passing of my father. My mom has been the most exceptional and exemplary role model, and I can't thank her enough. Mom, I love you. If it were not for you, there's absolutely no way I would be standing here today. Okay, so I hope I've delivered on my promise to keep it relatively short, and I fully intend to deliver on my promise to make this a fun and meaningful year. Your active involvement this year will make that all the more likely. A reminder that the reorganization meeting of the Board of Directors will be held immediately following this meeting, I think in that room back there. So if you're a director back there, can't leave just yet. For everyone else, have a fantastic weekend. I look forward to seeing you starting next week and throughout the year. This meeting is adjourned.